Rishi, you are one of those few people I know who has also taken an incredible leap from being a neurosurgeon to the founder of a not for profit organization called the UshaKiran Foundation. I am reading this from your website. Trees bear fruit for the benefit of others, rivers flow for the benefit of others, cows give milk for the benefit of others. Similarly, this body is meant to serve others. I was really moved on reading your foundation's mission statement, and I have so many questions for you. First, what are your foundation's objectives and whom does it serve?
David, thank you very much for narrating the story behind Leonardo da Vinci. He's been so inspirational to me right from my childhood. I read about him via comic books. He was the first one to envisage a helicopter prototype. It's so striking that current day helicopters have got a resemblance to what he drew during the 15th century. It's just fascinating to understand this man and his contribution to humankind. And we've been really inspired by his work, so much so that we have nomenclatured our neurosurgical group as Da Vinci's Neurosurgical Associates. Very, very inspirational figure. Even if we have 0.005% of what this guy has, we can really make a huge difference to the world. Coming to the foundation, the story behind how it came was during the COVID. My professional journey started in Mumbai. At that time, I was going through a major personal crisis as well as professional crisis, and I was a completely lost entity in Mumbai. And life in Mumbai could be very, very tough in the beginning. You feel as if you're lost in the crowd. There was this old lady who happened to be my uh, distant grandmother. She was living alone there. Though she had opportunity to go to US, however, she was very much sure that she would spend her lifetime in Mumbai. And she was very generous, not only to provide shelter, but to provide all the love, all the warmth, and all the things what one has to offer to their own grandkids. So I lived with her for some time till I got stabilized, and I became very close during that time. However, during COVID, um, I lost her, and despite the best efforts, despite being in a medical community, she lost the battle to COVID. So after a few months, I came to know that she had left a will, and that will has got certain amount of money. So I thought, why not utilize this opportunity to do good? God has placed me in a position where I can take care of myself, my family, and if this can be utilized for a larger good of the humanity, that would be more meaningful, and that would be an apt tribute to this lady who was such a humble, kind person. I thought that we should do something different and meaningful, and that brought the concept of Usha Kiran Foundation. The name was Usha, and Kiran is the ray. So the sun rays as a mark of positivity and cheerfulness. So Usha Kiran Foundation strives to achieve three main objectives, which are very close to my heart. It's divided into three projects: imparting financial assistance to those children who require surgical intervention. So the foundation acts as a bridge to fill that gap and try to create a method in which the kids could be supported, particularly those with favorable prognosis and in whom a surgical intervention could transform their life. The project Gati is towards fall prevention elderly. We have elderlies also in a society who are neglected, and the most common of mortality or morbidity in elderly is fall. And there are various ways to prevent falls, right from education, providing tools, innovation, investing in technology for fall prevention in elderly. Project Maitri is for children. Maitri is friendship. geared towards fall prevention in elderly and supportive services. And lastly, Pragati. Pragati is development. And I really believe that India is right now fertile ground for developing data, for doing extensive medical research. But there are certain limitations to it. Primarily, they are finance related, not connecting to right people. So Project Pragati is about providing assistance, fellowships, scholarships to those deserving people, those who are interested in doing medical research, which could be impactful and contributing to development of our nation.
Rishikesh, thank you for sharing that heartwarming origin story about the Usha Kiran Foundation and the multiple objectives that you undertake. Will you share a patient's success story? How
Yeah.
the Usha Kiran Foundation touched their life?
So David, we recently launched this foundation and we did some work in a very small remote hamlet placed in Nilgiri Hills. So we went to this small village which we identified via our very talented young doctor who's spending her time over there treating about 50 villages where they have access to one so-called dispensary. It's not even a hospital, but it's providing basic medical care to about 9,000 to 10,000 villagers, which are of tribal communities in a remote corner in Nilgiris, where access to healthcare is such a difficult task. Forget about the healthcare. Going to their hut, going to their hamlet itself is a big task. There are no roads, there are only small, unpaved pathways crossing the streams with no bridges. I really have a lot of admiration and for the people who work for such communities. So we launched our foundation via this group which is acting for the tribals over there. We have adopted this dispensary come hospital which caters to 10,000 people in that community. Believe me, that 10,000 people did not have access to oxygen for various medical conditions. So we started off with supplying oxygen to concentrators and basic surgical sets, and also created a pathway where serious medical condition can be transported quickly to a referral area which is about 100 odd kilometers from that place. So these are very early attempts. We are actively looking for volunteers to join us and support us in our endeavor. And I foresee in next couple of years to make this more bigger and impactful. Given the time frame and the busy schedule, it's very difficult to do so. But with well wishers like you and the people who are listening to you, I'm hopeful that this could be transformed in a very large project that can be beneficial to a huge section of our population, neglected and vulnerable.
Do you have any mechanisms to raise awareness in the general public about the Usha Kiran Foundation?
Uh, right now we have a website, UshaKiran Foundation. People can go access the aims, the objectives. In the long term, we plan to employ people working full time and come out with activities like donation drives, charity runs, connecting and linking people who are like-minded and who can join the cause and be a part of it, be an active participant and contribute as a very active team member. I think that would be more sustainable.
What steps are you taking to make your long term vision for Usha Kiran Foundation come alive? I ask this question so that those amongst our listeners and viewers who are thinking about starting their own foundations may get inspired by your story.
First of all, it is very important to understand how lucky we are to have proper meal for the day, access to good quality of healthcare, sanitation. Vast majority of population are not fortunate like us. Something which we have to realize. I believe in Viktor Frankl. I read him quite a lot. What is the meaning of this life? What is the purpose of life? Purpose of life is basically to bring a positive change in others and enrich people's life. If one is on that course, he's bringing a meaning to his or her own life.